Hey, what's up y'all? It's Sarah, and today we're going to be talking about the movie The Circle. Now, I have actually read this book going into it. So, the book is by Dave Edgars, I think his name is, and the premise of the book is this girl, May. She gets a job at a company that's kind of like Google mixed with Facebook, if they had this big conglomerate. So, this movie stars Emma Watson as May, the main character, and she's a 20-something, just graduated college. She's working at like the local water company, doing customer service there. So she's not too happy with her life, but she has a pretty steady job and is doing okay. But her friend from college, Annie, gives her a call and tells her that they're hiring at the Circle. And she gets really excited because this is a big deal. I mean, imagine getting a job interview for Google. That's amazing. So she goes there, she gets the job, and she becomes the customer service person there. And you start out, you're like, oh, this is interesting, and they show a little bit of her family, and her dad has MS, and she has to help them out and everything. Okay, so her parents are played by Bill Paxton, which recently passed away, rest in peace. He plays her father, who has MS, and that becomes a major plot point in the film. And her mother is played by Glenn Heidlas, and you might know her from Mr. Helen's Opus, and that's like a way throwback, but that's the only movie that I actually know her from. So something about this company is that they are called the Circle, and the company literally is a circle, like the Pentagon, They have everything that they need on campus, and it's much like a college campus. So, they have their day-to-day lives, they have sports, they have concerts, and they have little dorms that they can stay in if they want to. If they've been working too hard, don't want to leave, that kind of thing. And she starts to take advantage of that. So she gets really sucked in, And as an audience member, you're wondering, when's the other shoe gonna drop? What's gonna happen? Basically, this company, which is run by Tom Hanks and Pat Oswalt, I think is the other actor's name, wants to keep innovating, wants to keep pushing the boundaries. And they have this program where they want to have cameras everywhere, and they want to have everything revealed, And they choose May to be the ambassador of this. So it's really interesting. They even go as far as saying, oh, our congressmen, our senators should have this transparency and have nothing be a secret ever, And you're like, no, that's crazy, But they just keep pushing the envelope. And in general, this movie, there's definitely great cinematography. I think it's shot really well. Emma Watson does a really good job as May. I think she acts pretty good, although the character of May, especially in the screenplay of the movie, isn't given as much emotional depth as you would like. Definitely not as much as in the book. And but that being said, Emma Watson does a really good job with her. So I do like her acting in this. Something that I was disappointed with this movie was that I think they revealed too much in the trailer. Now, in the trailer they show John Boyega, and he plays a character called Ty, and he's supposed to be like a secret character, sort of. And they don't really show exactly who he is in the trailer, and I won't tell it right now, but they do reveal, the fact that he has questions about the company, and he is wondering what they should do. So I think that definitely made it kind of cheapened it, you know? Because this movie and the book was all about tension, was about being a thriller, you know? Building this world and this company, and you're wondering what the heck is going on, you know? And what is all these great things, I mean, being connected and being transparent, I mean, there's always a dark side. So, you know, in the book they definitely build the tension throughout the whole thing. But in the movie, it's kind of lost. Because they bring in John Boyega's character and, like, I think maybe like halfway through the film, maybe a little bit less. And so you're like, oh, okay. And he kind of reveals this big secret, you know, and you're like, oh. Yeah, well, I mean, what now, you know? In the book, she has these interactions with this guy and she doesn't know who he is. And she doesn't know, like, what's going on with him. He's more mysterious, you know? They have, like, 4 or 5 interactions before she gets to know who he is. Now, I get it that you have to shorten things when it's a film, so I totally understand that. One of the things that they shortened, which this isn't really a spoiler because it's not like a plot point or anything, but there was a character who became her friend and was her friend throughout the book, had a little bit more to do with the book, but in the movie she was in one scene for like less than a minute, and she like described the program that she was working on, and you know, Emma Watson's character May was like, that's weird, okay, and just left, you know. And I was like, hey, that was supposed to be like a character in the book, but you know, it's all good. But yeah, I think overall the tone of the film could have been better, and there could have been things that could have been improved. So another character in this movie, his name was Mercer, and he's played by the guy who, or the boy I should say, you know, who was in the movie Boyhood. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but that movie where the kid grew up throughout the whole movie, and of course now he's an adult, so he played the role of that, and he's sort of this like outdoorsy type, her ex-boyfriend that's like from her hometown, that her parents, you know, wish she would have, you know, stayed with or whatever, and he becomes like a major character because he doesn't like all social media stuff. I'm sure you guys have that friend who doesn't have a Facebook account or doesn't do anything with social media at all. And it's not because they can't, but they just don't want to, you know? They just don't like the idea of their privacy being violated and everybody knowing everything, or they just don't like it. So he kind of represents that view in this movie, which is kind of an important view considering the company that she works for. So basically, in the movie, you know, she becomes this guinea pig for this transparency program where her whole life is transparent, just camera on her at all times. Everybody can see everything. And, you know, I think the movie does a really good job of representing the online presence, because they have like texts on the screen, and even like in different languages and stuff like that, and people commenting on everything that she does and everything. And, you know, there's some real life vloggers out there who vlog every day, or people who, you know, do live view nows where they have like the comments going, you know. And of course they don't do it 24/7, but imagine if it were 24/7, and I just can't imagine. Honestly, I can't imagine. So, but that's kind of what she does in this film. So this film, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Netflix series Black Mirror, and there was those episodes, Nosedive, where the girl, you know, has a relationship with social media that's not that healthy, and how the whole world is like really like obsessed with it and everything, and the consequences of that. So this kind of reminds me of that. If you liked that episode of Black Mirror, you would definitely like this movie. So, basically, this movie kind of asks the bigger questions of how much privacy should we have? Is there a limit to it? Is there a reason why we would want to hide everything? Or, you know, what's the boundary between sharing your life with people on social media or whatever and having a private life? Also, just like with that episode Nosedive from Black Mirror, when is social media too much? When does it take over your life? You know, at what point? Is another question I think this movie tries to answer. And also, I think one of the things that this movie asks is, does Google and Facebook and companies like that have too much power? Are they unchecked? You know, so that's pretty interesting. Does it answer those questions? Do they kind of come to a resolution at the end, or, you know, is there consequences? And I would say, yeah, there's consequences in the film, but this movie, the ending of this movie is not very good. And it sort of just stops, you know. It sort of doesn't have a very good resolution, doesn't really sum it all up or anything. And granted, okay, the book doesn't have the best ending either. I mean, it doesn't have the perfect ending where you're like, oh, like you feel good at the end or whatever. But I feel like the movie could have done a better job of, you know, showing like the implications of what just happened. Because right before the ending, there is a big scene, a big thing that happens, and then they just go to the ending scene, and you're like, but what happened? Like, you know, so many questions, you know? And the thing with these types of movies is that it's not like there's going to be a sequel. There's no sequel, you know? If you have questions that aren't answered, they're just not answered. And I think for that reason, and for the reason that I've read the book and know, like, what could have been done with the script, it's hard for me to give this movie a really high grade. So I'm going to give this movie a C+.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And let me know if you have any video suggestions down below. I had a lot of trouble making this video because my computer crashed, but hopefully I'll be making good videos for you guys soon. Alright, bye-bye for now.